in the surrounding.
Hello.
Hello.
हाँ अभिषेक.
Yes, ma'am. We are starting now.
हाँ, we can start now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mohit
I
sir, can
started.
you please stop sharing your screen?
Done.
Yeah. So, he who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. As we all know, World Mental Health Day is observed on 10th of October every year. This year, Wellness Center and NSS IIT Roorkee have collaborated with the aim to ensure the absolute well-being of everyone. We have planned a series of events, and today we are going to have an interactive webinar on the topic Stay Fit, Maintain Mental Health. Myself, Abhishek Kumar, Acting General Secretary, Team Wellness. I welcome our respected speaker, our counselors, and all the participants. Let me introduce you all with our respected speaker, Ms. Sangeeta Param. She is a 26-year-old insurance professional from Bangalore. She is a motivational speaker who has delivered 2 TEDx talks, an author, and poet of 2 books, Key to Acceptance and Echoes in My Attic. She has also represented India in international conferences on mental health in Canada and London. Battling depression, bipolar disorder, and borderline personality disorder, she has come a long way and dedicates her time to helping and inspiring others with her survival story. Before proceeding further, I request you all to please put your queries or questions in the chat box as we are live on our ITR Facebook page. Now, I would like to invite our speaker, Ms. Sangeeta Param. The stage is all yours, ma'am.
Hi, can everyone see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I can start my topic, right? So, everybody, good evening. So, I would like to first thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk on this topic on this wonderful evening. I'm speaking from Bangalore, and it's very cold here. It's been raining from the past 1 week, and it's been really good. So I know that a lot of you are expecting like this professional person is going to come over to TEDx talks. She's going to speak, and it's going to be really serious, and it's because it's all about mental health and all. But trust me, I'm not a person who believes in preparing something very great for a talk, or going on stage and following the proper the regime of talking, or the proper the plan to talk on stage. But it's all about me talking about what's happening, what's going on. And this is going to be a non-judgmental space where all of us will talk, all of us will interact, and it will not just be me talking. So as Abhishek said, you can put your questions on chat box and I will answer them for you. So, starting from, let me start with what I want to speak about. So, this topic is stay fit about mental health. What is mental health? First of all, a lot of us assume that mental health, when you say somebody is not mentally okay, we assume it to be they are lunatics, or they cannot be approached, or they are people who are not mentally sound. So we look at it in extremes. We look at it in extremes, they cannot be spoken to, because that's what is portrayed by media to us, because that's what we learn from watching TV, we learn from watching movies, and that's what we have learned from our childhood. So, oh, he's mad, oh, she's mad, that's what they say when you look at a person who's mentally not okay. But when it comes to a serious mental illness, if you look at it these days, it's not just these days, it's been there for a long time, but it's only been reflected upon properly and responded to properly. It's starting to, it's not yet reached it completely, but it's just starting to. And to look at it, you can say that mental illness is becoming a serious thing now, because of the increase in suicide rates, the increase in depression, the increase in pressures and stress, and there's so much happening inside one's head that it is becoming something of a concern for so many people. So that is one thing about mental health. So what are the various regular activities we can follow to maintain positive mental health? Okay, see, first thing, as Abhishek introduced me, I was diagnosed with a mental illness, that is bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder. I was given this diagnosis by a professional. It was not self-diagnosed. I did not Google tests. I did not Google them and do the test and get a statistical ratio about what is happening with me. But I was given a proper diagnosis by a professional therapist and also a psychiatrist. Okay. Yeah. So what has happened exactly is that this a lot of people when they're sad, I think somebody is speaking.
Sorry,
So
sorry. Mohit sir, can you please mute? Yeah.
okay, so basically, as I was saying, mental illness has cannot be self diagnosed, but you can identify the symptoms and take the help of a professional to get it diagnosed. Okay, lot of people who are right now think when they're sad they're actually depressed. That is not at all true, because a lot of people go around saying that, oh my god, I'm so depressed today. Okay, so when people start saying that really often, people don't, the other people listening to it don't know whether they're actually depressed or they're just saying a statement, they're just making a statement. So it's very important to identify when you're sad and when you're depressed. Okay, so I'll give you an example as to how to identify this. See, this took me a lot of time and experience to learn. Okay, this is all self-experiential things. Okay, it's not something I read out of books or I'm giving you a statistical data or anything of that. See, sadness is that moment, okay, where you actually don't feel good. Both are negative feelings, okay. You don't feel good, but when somebody comes and tells you, like, hey, you're looking good today, you spoke really well in the talk today, you'll get a little spark in you. You won't be completely depressed. A little spark of positivity will, there'll be a little spark in you telling that, okay, you're not that bad, you're not as bad as you think. And there will be a smile on your face, and you'll actually mean that smile because you'll accept it. But if you're depressed, no matter who comes and tells what, it wouldn't matter to you, because you know you're so engulfed. There's so much of darkness around you. There's so much of darkness inside you, not just around you, it's inside you. It completely engulfs you, and it makes you puts you in a spot where you're not able to communicate with anybody, you're not able to do anything. Where will you appreciate, or where will you acknowledge something what someone tells you, when it is about praising you or anything? So depression is like that. It eats you alive. It makes you so sad, it makes you irrational, and it doesn't allow you to take decisions. And it stays, you most people will be like, okay, let's sleep it off. So many of us go to bed early and we sleep it off, so that when we wake up in the morning, we don't remember what happened and we'll start afresh. But that does not happen if you're depressed, because it's a continuous cycle. It keeps continuing and it keeps pulling you down. Whereas sadness, when you wake up fresh, you get a different feeling. You feel a little different. So that's one thing about sadness and depression I want to make clear. And since a lot of youngsters are listening in, it's very important that you don't go around making statements that you're depressed when you're actually sad, because it's very different for people to identify, because that's how the misconception spreads. And the stigma, that's why the stigma is not taken so seriously. That's why this big stigma is only because of this, where people are not able to identify what is real. Because at the end of the day, they're all like, oh, it's all in your head, oh, you're just making this up, what is wrong with you, just move on, let it go. And they don't take it seriously. I mean, I don't understand why they don't take it seriously, but it's let's not give somebody an opportunity to not take it seriously for us. Okay, so that is one thing. So I was diagnosed by a therapist, and I had to take a lot of questions and answers from him, and it was confidential. So he has given me a report, and I'm officially diagnosed as a bipolar, and I've been taking medication for it. I am not ashamed to state this fact that I'm taking medication for it or I'm going for therapy. I am proud of it. And on the day I got diagnosed, I was so relieved. I was not afraid to go to the hospital. I was not afraid to sit in front of, like, sit there not knowing what is going to happen. Because on the day I got diagnosed, I was so relieved that there is a term for what is happening in my head. There is something real. It is not something I'm making up. It's not something I'm suffering alone. There are so many people out there who are actually suffering from this. There are scientists doing, like, theories behind this. They're trying to figure out medication which can improve a person's life. It is all real. It's not just something I'm making up all by myself, sitting in the night at 3 a.m. crying, not knowing what to do. So this is all real. Mental illness is something to be concerned about, to worry about. It is an important aspect in a person's life. A healthy mindset is very, very important in a person's life. So that is what mental health is all about. So here are a few, see, basically I'm answering questions which I was sent to. Okay, I was sent these questions, so I'm going to give the questions and the answers to them, so that you also get an idea as to what is happening. Okay, because these are a few questions. Okay, if I just go on randomly talking, it would just go out of the flow. So I'm going to give step by step questions. Okay, so how to deal with mental issues. So I'm going to share about my journey. Okay. And now I'm talking all hyper excited, and like, who, when you look at me, if you look at me and talk to me for the first time, you'll not be able to tell that or assume that I'm a person who suffered depression and various other mental illnesses. Okay. Nobody can say that, because people who are diagnosed with mental illnesses are very smart. We know how to manipulate people and make them believe that we are the most happiest people in the world, because that's our talent, I would say. But if you look at it, I have attempted suicide like 3 to 4 times, more than that. Last year was a really pretty serious one where I was taken to the hospital. I self-harmed around I was addicted to self-harm, and the last time I self-harm was about 6 to 8 months ago, and I haven't touched my a knife or a blade after that to hurt myself. So it's a growing journey. Okay, see, I will not tell I'm healed. I will not tell I'm perfect. I'm great. It's a journey. It's a process, because see, I hurt myself 8 months ago. Okay, but that will not put me down. That oh my God, I've come a long way. Why am I going back to the person who I was, who was hurting herself all the time? But I stayed 8 months without hurting myself. So I'm proud of that fact today. I might have hurt myself. I might have got a spot of weakness at that moment. But today I am proud of myself that I did not hurt myself. I've stayed 8 months sober without hurting myself. So that is what you have to be proud of. So my journey, as you can say, I went to the therapist. My parents, I stepped out of home hoping to come back lifeless. Told my parents, and my parents understood that there's something seriously not okay with this girl, because at 18, when she goes to her parents telling that she doesn't want to live anymore, they do say take it seriously. And initially my parents, they're very different from from normal, like, parents, I would say, because see, they all assumed that my rage, my anger, me shouting at home was just teenage blues. Okay, because I'm the older daughter. So since I'm the older daughter, so everybody's like, okay, it's just teenagers, that's how teenagers behave and all. But later, when the therapist explained to my parents that these are actually symptoms of her leading to depression, or her leading to, these are the baby steps for her to get diagnosed. You could have caught it earlier. You could have caught it earlier. You could have come for therapy earlier. So many steps of, of her pain could have reduced. So they were like, yeah, okay. So my parents underwent therapy along with me. We had separate sessions, we have family sessions, and it was a very difficult transition. Okay, because all my life I did not know what who I was, who I am, what I felt, all because it was always extremities. So bipolar disorder is a disorder where you feel extreme mood swings. So that is, you're either too happy, or you go to a manic phase, or you're too depressed. You become really sad, really depressed, but both are extremes. You never stay in the middle, so you never know what is normal. So, for example, people who drink alcohol, they go high only when there is a kick in the body with the booze. But a person like me who's bipolar don't need any external stimulant to get excited. We would get excited by just seeing ice cream. So, like, it's it, it was very difficult to know what is my real feeling. Am I happy, or am I in my life where I did not know who am I? What am I feeling? Where am I headed? I couldn't recognize the person I saw in the mirror. So with therapy, with lot of therapy, lot of drilling, I started opening up my baggage one by one. I started sharing. I started speaking to him, because although I was sharing all this with my friends, okay, because what do we do when we have a problem? Everybody says share with us, share with us. So I did share it with my friends, but no matter how many times I shared, I never got over it. I came home, I still used to go to bed crying. I did not get over it because it was paining each time and it kept coming back. So that's when I knew there's something seriously not okay with me. Because if I was sad, I would probably talk about it and I would rest. It would rest. It would be buried. But this is coming back. Why is it haunting me again and again? These thoughts kept flooding my mind. So I opened up my baggage one by one. So I spoke about my bullying, I spoke about sexual abuse, I spoke about self harm, I spoke about friends leaving, all these fears, anger. It was all guilt. It was all just like, it was stored in this little heart of mine. And, you know, it was slowly starting to heal because the wound had gotten pretty worse. And there was this point of time when I realized, see, my dad's a cancer survivor, okay, and he underwent a bone marrow transplant, and when I was 12 years old, okay, so my parents started saying, you have a survivor in the family. Oh my, he underwent cancer, he survived cancer, you can do this too. That willpower, the willpower he had, you should show the same willpower and come out of depression. Trust me, it's not the same. So I sat down my parents and I told them, cancer is a physical ailment, okay? Mental illness is not. Physical ailment, you do need the willpower to fight and to live. Yeah, I know that the challenges you face are different. The challenges you face in life when it comes to a physical ailment where you don't know whether you live tomorrow is a different type of pain. But when it comes to a mental illness where you are challenging yourself not to take your own life and cause death is a different type of pain altogether. So you cannot compare the two. So it is very important to know that physical ailments and mental ailments, you cannot compare them, you cannot call them the same, but you have to give them equal importance. That is one thing you have to do for both. Give them equal importance. It's like, being a feminist and saying man, women should be treated the same. Do the same with anything. Mental illness, physical illness, treat it the same. Just because a mental illness does not have a blood report telling me how many WBC or how many platelets are there in my head or whatever, I mean, the scientific aspect of it does not mean that my pain is any lesser or my illness is anything lesser than a normal physical ailment. So that's when my parents also understood that, this is not the same thing. We cannot give the same type of encouragement to this person because her willpower is not there. She doesn't have a will to live itself. Here you have to have the willpower to fight the disease, but here she doesn't have the willpower to live itself. So where's the question of her, generating a willpower to live? So that was a difficult time, and it took a lot of time to come over. It's been 6 years now since I started taking therapy. I've had one or two friends. I don't have a bunch of friends. I don't have 10, 15 friends. I was just going through my phone the other day, and in WhatsApp, it shows you on top how many contacts you have. If you go to the contact page, and it shows you the number of contacts you have. I felt really weird because out of those number of contacts, I text 2 to 3 people once in 2, 3 days. That's it. There's not one person, or there's not like I haven't spoken to any of them in like a really long time. I don't even wish them happy new year or happy birthday or merry Christmas or whatever. So it's, if you see, you can remember that, like, it matters. What I'm trying to say is that your friendship, your inner circle is what matters. You might be having 500 people in your contacts, but the people you go to, you should trust. That inner circle, whom you build a circle. If you stand in the middle, build a circle around you. Whom will you include in that circle? Whom you trust. They matter the most. So you trust them, they trust you. That's it. Nothing else matters. It can be anyone. It can be your parents, your friends, your dog, your cat, your books, your art, anything. So that comes to my next topic about coping strategies. Like, how do I cope with all this pain, all this, this irritation, suffering, what all you can call it, coping strategies. When it comes to coping, there's a lot of self therapy that's required, okay? Because the first step is you self realizing that something is not okay before you can do anything about it, okay? Because if you are calm and if you realize that okay, something is not okay with me, something is not fine, you get a realization. So that is very important, that you do self therapy. A lot of people say write gratitude books, like gratitude journal. So at the end of the day, take a book and write on what all you're grateful for. Write on what you're feeling, write on what is bothering you, write on your stress, write on your anger, just scribble down, and scribble down whatever you're feeling. So I started writing, I started expressing whatever I felt, and trust me, everything was negative, everything was about pain and darkness, and there's so much of anger and guilt, everything was on the negative side. But when I don't know what made me publish the two books. I published them. So when someone asked me, why don't you write positive stuff? Why don't you write things which makes you happy? Why do you write such negative stuff and so sad to read such things? I said, when I am depressed and when I am sad, I don't want to read happy stuff because those are unrealistic for me. I want to read sad stuff which I can relate to. I want to read sad things which I can understand, which I can feel solace, or I can feel empathetic with. So I want to write these books for those people who have a bad day at work. They come home, pick up this book, and pick up a chapter and just read it and understand that there's a human out there who wrote this, who felt this way. And it's okay for me to feel this way because it's okay to be not okay. I wrote it for them. I wrote it to make darkness and negativity normalize it. To normalize this negativity is why I wrote and published it. Yeah, I didn't make a lot of sales though, but yeah, I still published it, and it was a little challenging for me. I still have a lot of negative feelings, and I'm not good enough, was a low self-esteem, I'm not pretty enough, I'm fat. Instagram, you go to Instagram and you see a lot of these posts of your friends getting married, they having the perfect hair, the perfect wedding, the perfect everything, their perfect body, this, that, it floods your head with so many negative comments about yourself which nobody would have even made or thought, which you would just write down, you would make them by yourself even when they don't exist. That's what social media does to you, but it's very important to not get affected by it. I'm trying to learn this because I still get affected by it. I go on Instagram to make myself feel bad. I don't know why I do that. A lot of people have started now going off Instagram, off social media, because they want to get themselves better. But I feel bad because when I go to Instagram a few times and I see the number of followers, 2 3 people would have reduced, and I'll be like, why are they unfollowing me? What did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? And I don't know who unfollowed me. That's the best part. But if you see, there are so many people with like millions of followers, and I'm like, how do they get so many followers when there are people unfollowing me in Instagram when I did nothing? So that puts you down, and that's when I started realizing that it's time I stopped beating myself up or stop thinking so much about others. I'm doing this for myself. I'm talking about it for myself. Go on Instagram, see things which are necessary, see a good meme and laugh, see positive videos, or see sad videos also, it doesn't matter, see motivational stuff, look for some, see drawings of people, look at the artwork, look at this, there are so many pages to follow, cooking, do anything you like, except something which will make you feel bad. That is one thing I'm trying to work on. So this is my next challenge, where I stop beating myself up for something I am not, like is something happening.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Can you please mute?
Can I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry for the
Uh,
interruption.
no problem. It's okay. Anyway, I was continuously talking, so I needed a break as well. So, anyways, that was the Instagram thing, which I wanted to talk about because I give myself a realization that I have to keep in mind not to do it. See, because I cannot preach and not practice, right? So I cannot do that because it doesn't allow me to do that. I cannot preach something and then come back, sit here and cry about it. So I am going to work on this where I stop beating myself up by looking at somebody else's post. So that is one thing I'm going to stop. With this in mind, I want everyone who's listening to take up something which is bothering them, which they're using to beat themselves up with in their mental health, in their mental state, and to take today as a resolution to stop doing that from today. No tomorrow business, although tomorrow is 1st October. Let's start from today that we all stop doing whatever we are doing to harm our mental health. Okay, so can we all make a promise? So if you want to do it, leave a chat, that give a thumbs up or something, so that I know that you all will do it. Anyways, how to help our peers. Now, this is important. How to identify that somebody else is suffering from mental illness. All this while I've been talking about myself, about how I underwent, how I did it, how everything was about me. Now let's talk about others. First thing, don't be judgmental. Don't judge your friends when they come and sit down and they're not okay. Don't tell them, move on, let it go. Don't make such statements. Just listen. Because people who are not okay, especially people like me, we just want to vent. We want to vent out whatever is happening, and we just want somebody to listen to them. We just want somebody to not judge. We don't even want your advice. We don't want you to give us answers. We just want someone to listen to us, because most of the time it's so scary out there that the people we trust also, we end up not trusting, and we end up taking it all on ourselves. Just sit there, just listen to your friend, just hold their hand, maybe give them a hug later on. And if you identify, okay, people who are mentally ill need not always be sad all the time. They need not always not eat or become quiet or withdrawn. They can be the happiest person. They can laugh all the time. They can be bubbly. They can be the joker of the class. They can also be depressed. So don't go by looks. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's a very good, it's a very apt, proverb, where you don't judge a book by its cover. It's a very apt proverb for everything, not just, where not just in any circumstance. This also, it's very important. When you notice somebody not behaving like how they usually behave, just go sit with them and just have a small little chat, not in front of everybody, but maybe take them aside and just have a cup of coffee with them and say that you don't seem to be okay. Is everything fine? Do you have anything to share? You can trust me, you can share. Don't push them, or either give them the assurance that you are there for them. They will come to you. And if you feel that they are in need of professional help, you know take them, give them the assurance that you will be there for them. You will take them to the therapy, you will be there for them, you will not judge them. And just being there, and actually be there. Don't just write I will be there for you and not be there. Stay with them. These are the most important things a friend has to do, or a relative, or a family member has to do. That's what my family and my friends do for me. They listen to me when I cry. They listen to me when I vent. They don't judge me. If I'm wrong, they don't tell me at that moment. Maybe later on, when I'm a bit calmer and cooler, they call me, they make me sit and say, you were worried about this and you were crying that day, right? Have you thought about it in this perspective? And they make me realize it in that way. So it's important how to talk to the person, and how to communicate to a person who's sensitive. You have to think about it. You have to be aware about what you're sharing, how you're sharing, when you're sharing. So that is what is very important about how you deal with a person with mental illnesses. Okay, so Abhishek, can I start with the questions which you had shared with the Google form?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the first question is, I'm not able to cope with online mode of education due to which I feel depressive. What can I do? Um, See, this is one thing which I have never experienced, the online mode of education, because I've always been offline. I didn't even know how to log into this Zoom meeting. It took me so much time to realize how to do it. So I totally understand. It's not the same thing, but it's difficult to get accustomed to something which is not your cup of tea and which is something very new and very different. But try to, like, try to bring in something which you can, get, like, if what can I say for this, like, try to see the positives out of it and hope that this ends faster, because it's not out of something which, it's not going to be permanent, and also it's not going to last forever because of this what is that, pandemic and everything, is why this online thing has started in the first place. And it makes you depressive also because of this lockdown and you being at home all the time, just within the four walls. I understand it's very, very hectic and just want to step out and have fresh air. I understand that too. Maybe you can step out and go to the terrace and have some fresh air. You know, instead of going on the road and getting exposed to corona, let's not do that. So let's go out and, have some fresh air. Take a break, if you're having online all the time, just take a break, do something what you like, do something which is not online, not on phone, okay, not anything related to a screen. Let's do some painting, let's recreate your hobbies which you were fascinated by as a child. As a child, we have these classes in school. Do you remember? In my school, it was called SUPW, where we had like 2 hours of whatever we wanted, artwork, stitching, drawing. We could do whatever we wanted. I think we all need to get back to our childhood days where we do what we like. Get all messy with painting. You put the newspaper down, take a cardboard, and just paint what you like, or maybe write, or maybe discover new talents, learn something new, learn a new language, read a new book. So many things to do. You can actually Google what you can do without a laptop. Maybe you can Google that and then do what you like. You can do some gardening, some cooking. There's so many things. So let's do something which is not online. Do something offline. Take a break from the online moment so that you can, get yourself rejuvenated, and you don't feel that melancholy feeling and depressive feeling when you're continuously online, because it does stress you out. After some time, everybody does get pissed off looking at the screen all the time. So let's just take some time and take a break. Okay, how to deal effectively with postpartum depression that occurs due to various reasons, such as sleeplessness, worry of career, being in home for months, seeing negativity. Okay, comments by elders, specifically in-laws, etc. Okay, so this is like a general question about how to deal with complete negativity around you. Okay, something which everybody faces, something which I also face. But see, I go to work. Okay, so I go to work where I deal with customers. So I have days when customers yell at me like so badly, which is for no fault of mine, and I get yelled at by even the office people, my boss, and everybody yells at me for no fault of mine. Okay, so that makes you negative. That makes you sad. That makes me like, what am I even doing here when I don't like this job? It gives you so many raising thoughts and raising questions. That's where you put a semicolon. Put a semicolon. I'm not saying put a full stop. Put a semicolon and, just take a deep breath, stop, and, think. Let's think. Let's uh, look at these racing thoughts in slow motion. It's going so fast in fast forward motion that you're not able to stop thinking about what is happening, because in this question itself you saw so many if you can see in this question, in one question you took so many scenarios. You took about family, you took about work, you took about sleeplessness. There's so many scenarios. So let's calm down. Let's look at the picture in your mind in slow motion. Look at the questions in slow motion. Close your eyes, look at it in slow motion. So first you will identify the problem. Next, what is the cause? So why is sleeplessness happening? It might be due to stress of work. Okay, why are you stressed at work? Is it because of too much work, not meeting targets, boss is angry? Fine. Come down to the root cause. What is the root cause of your problem? Okay, so you have an idea. Okay, we have to break it down and come to the foundation. You can't sit at the top floor and say and see everything to be solved. Looking, we look like lilliputs. You have to come down and see what is happening, right? So you have to break it down. Look at your thoughts in slow motion. If you find it like really difficult to to do the maths in your head, start writing. Write it down. Keep a journal for yourself. I'm not asking you to write every night, dear diary, today this happened, today I went to school, today I went to office. I'm not asking you to do that. Take it once in a while. Write down your thoughts when you are completely filled with raising. This is what they call raising thoughts, because they're so fast you don't know how to catch them and stop them. And that's when it makes you it makes you completely confused, not knowing what to do, and it leaves you dazed. So let's take it one by one, jot it down, and search the root cause. Because as they say, every problem has a solution, and there's a reason for every problem. Problems don't arise just out of nowhere, they don't come like that. There's a reason for every problem. So let's go ahead to the next question. How can we stop excessive and rubbish thoughts? Trust me, you can't stop it, because um, the more creative imagination you have, the more crazy thoughts you'll get. Okay, that's one problem I have. That's one problem most people have, because if we think about cars flying, we'll think about car crashes the most. So we can't do anything about it. It's about changing your perspective. It's all about changing your perspective when it comes to thoughts. Okay, because thoughts will come, thoughts will go. It will not stay. It's not something which is cemented to your head. It's not something which will complete. It will stay all the time. Okay, these are raising thoughts. They'll come and they'll go. They'll not bother you all the time. Okay, they're not problems, or they're not trauma. They're not. That's not what the problem is. These are just continuous crazy thoughts that you get. So when you get crazy thoughts like this, get some self-awareness. Okay, I'm thinking crazy thoughts. I'm thinking obsessive thoughts. So let's just take a pause and, why am I thinking obsessive thoughts? Is it required? Is it needed? Even if it comes, it's okay. Let it go. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. So remember to say it's just a thought in that tone. If you say, oh my God, it's such a big thought, if you say it in that way, it's a big deal. It's just a thought. It's a small problem. Make the problem small by making it small, by actually making it small. Okay. How to maintain work and family during lockdown? That is a little tricky, because I'm a lazy daughter. All I do is sleep. My mother does all the work, so I can't answer the family problem for it. If you look at it, prioritize your time well. Maybe that's what I would suggest, because it's very important to have a plan. I'm not asking you to have a 5-year plan. I'm not asking you to have a plan for tomorrow. Take a plan for today. Like, take a diary. Morning when you get up, write a list about what you have to do today. That's it. Cross it as you finish it. The thrill you get when you see all the things crossed for that day you'll be so happy, because you're not trying to please anybody. It's for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. That is one thing you have to do. Don't do anything for anyone else. Do it for yourself. If you're working, work for yourself, because you want to provide for the family, not because your family wants it from you. If you're doing something for your family, do it because you want to do it for your family. Do it because you love it. It's very important that you reach, after some time, life takes such a huge turn where you start doing things for everybody's sake except your sake. How long will you do it for everyone else's sake? Today you're taking doing a job to take care of your parents or to clear loans and all that. When will you live for yourself? When have you had a day off for yourself? Okay, tell me, how many of you go on dates by yourself? Sometimes go out, sit in a restaurant, have a cup of coffee for yourself, enjoy the moment, look at hot people for yourself, enjoy. Treat yourself with a good cup of coffee sometime. you know it makes you happy because you're doing it for yourself and you're not expecting anything. You're not having any expectations except one, where you return home happy. That is the only expectation you should have. Even after this coffee, am I happy? That is what you have to expect, and return home happy. So prioritize your day and do it for yourself. How to deal with people who pass negative comments? I think I indirectly spoke about it. People who pass negative comments, it is their problem. It is their state of mind. It is their perspective towards things. It is their issue. And it becomes your problem only when you start personalizing it. It becomes your problem when you start taking it to heart. Okay? When people pass negative comments, it shows their character. It does not show your character. It's their opinion about you. As they say in our constitution, everybody has the right to speak. So let them speak, let them talk, let them show their opinion. You also have the right to take it. So leave it. If it is negative, it's their opinion. Who cares? For me, I know that I'm doing this for my good. For example, I can tell you, like, okay, how can I look at it? In your office, you have to choose two teams. Okay, you put your papers and you said, I want to go to the other team. Everybody advises you, saying that what is wrong with you, why are you going to the other team, this, that, all negative comments. But you know that for your career and for your goals to grow higher in your career and your expertise and your achievements and your future plans, that team is suiting you. So why are you listening to somebody else and pulling yourself down and not going to the other team? So that is an example which I can quote, which I just thought of, where you can realize that it's important to think about others also. It's not to think about others, sorry, it's important to think about you. You are important. So their negativity shows their nature. Don't personalize it and make it your problem. You don't deserve it. It's important that you take care of yourself at first. Okay. What is overthinking? How it affects us? How to limit it? I will start from behind. How to limit it? You can't. How it affects us? A lot. What is overthinking? Thinking all the time. Overly thinking about everything is what I would say overthinking is. Okay. Like, it's like you look at a wave, but you see a tsunami. That is overthinking. Okay. It's just a wave in a beach, but you look at it like a huge tsunami. That is exactly what overthinking is. Okay. Because the damage is bad. Okay. I'm not saying you cannot stop it. I'm not saying you can start it either. Okay, because it will come. It's not something you can control. It's your brain, it's your thoughts. It's not something which you can, put a full stop to it and say that no, don't come or anything like that. Because the more you try to not think about it, you think about it even triple times. You try to not think about a guy you broke up with, you think about him for the rest of the day. It's like that. So it's about managing how you think about. It's again about racing thoughts, as I spoke. Take it in slow motion and reach the root cause of why you're thinking about it. Give reasons to it. It's very important to be self-aware. Okay, there are a lot of people going about, thinking they know what they want. Okay, like they think they know what they want. Okay, it's like I want to be a director, I want to be a cricketer, I want to be a the CEO of the company. But is it what they actually want? Because life gives you so many things. You can't predict what is going to happen in the next 2 minutes. How will you predict that 5 years down the line you'll be the CEO of the company? Seriously, think about it. You know, just think about who you are, what you want. Take a break from everything. That's what you have to do. Meditation, all that helps you to become self-aware. Okay, but self-aware means what? I'm not telling becoming aware of your breathing or your moving or your blood flowing through your veins. I'm not talking about that awareness. I'm thinking about who are you? How will you respond when someone abuses you verbally? How will you respond to your boss shouting at you? How will you respond to somebody's praise? How will you respond to somebody's misery? That should be your awareness. Because how do you deal with anger? Because if somebody comes and shouts at you, you will shout back. If you are aware, you won't shout back. You will understand what that person is talking about. You will understand why that person is talking, how he is talking, and you will become aware of the situation. You'll come to the present moment. It's a long process. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. But if you keep in mind that this is what you want at the end of the day, you will achieve your goals. Trust me. Um, Staying at home and parallelly following the schedule of college and hostel doesn't look simple. We sometimes try to find whatever available time and finish college work. How can we create a balance and also keep healthy practices and proper schedule maintained? Again, follow a systematic schedule. Keep a timetable. It's important to follow the timetable. When in school we had different periods, no. So now also we need to follow that. Let's no, it's important to take the lessons we learned in school into our adulthood life, because transitioning from a teenager to adulthood, that phase of transition is very different for different people, difficult, because it makes us realize a lot. That's the age we make the most mistakes and get the most lessons learned. So keep a timetable, follow the timetable what you have, and prioritize your day in such a way it is comfortable for you. Okay, and it does not cause you a lot of stress. So you get most of your chores done, you get most of your work done, and it does not stress you out either, nor keeps you in a backlog. So that is very important. I think this is again a repetitive question. Sometimes, especially during my interviews, I feel pressurized, feel unable to express my thoughts in the way that I have due to some unwanted fears. As a result, I feel regretted for this mental instability. Okay, some ideas for my interviews. Okay, trust me, I've done only one interview in my life and I've got the job. Okay, this advice was given to me by my school principal when I was in 10th standard. Okay, she told me, when you go for an interview, don't sit down till the interviewers ask you to sit, because that is the first step of showing the respect. That is very important when you go to an interview. This is one thing I followed. Until they ask you to sit, don't go and sit down, because I think that some psychology is there behind that. Have you noticed something in this talk? Whoever asked this question, if you're here listening, or anybody, I've been stammering. I have been repeating words. I have been making mistakes. I've been using hands a lot, and I'm not ashamed of it. I am fine with it. And I am standing up and, telling you that this is who I am. And I'm proud of it. I'm not ashamed that I stammer or repeat words or, try to search for sentences or, put myself in a spot where there are people looking at me. There are like 29 people, participants looking at me right now, but I'm running out of words. So I would probably say, I'm sorry, I'm running out of words, rather than, cut the call or, try to make something up or, entertain you in any other way. Because that's not who I am. I would not, make up something and entertain you, but I would stand up and say that I'm sorry, I'm running out of words. Can you help me out by asking a few questions or something like that? Every interview in your life, any person you face, no matter what you do, be yourself. Be yourself. That's the best you can be. Give your, that's what they want. That's what people want. People want people who are honest, who can stand up for themselves, who can talk. You don't need a person with amazing English language, or who can deliver a talk or anything. A person who can deliver a talk in Hindi can stand and deliver a talk by being himself. He will get a standing ovation than the person who's stammering and talking in English trying to impress the person. No, it's very important to be yourself. So I'm trying to set an example here, saying that I don't follow the rules of motivational speaking or professional speaking to gather so many followers and listeners and all that, but I believe in being myself, being my honest self. I think that's my strength, and I'm proud of that. Even if I make a mistake, so what? I made a mistake. It's okay. It's not like somebody's going to like sue me or something if I said off instead of for. It's okay. So in interviews, I know people expect professionalism, this, that, and you want a job. Be true to them. Be true to yourself. If you don't know the answer, stand up and say, I don't know the answer. I'm sorry. But I will learn the answer. If you tell me and if you teach me, I will learn. Show hope. You don't have to be ashamed of not knowing the answer. It's okay. You're not the encyclopedia, or not. You don't need to know everything. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get through the interview as well. It's okay. You'll get another one. Maybe you're not destined for this company, or the company is not destined to have you. You can look at it in both ways. So don't be nervous for the interview and don't sit down when you enter the place. Let them ask you to sit, then you sit. Okay, how do I keep mentally fit? I can't concentrate during meditation. Meditation part, I think I should call my dad. My dad does meditation every day. I don't do meditation, but meditation is very good for calming down and helping you stress out. Exercise is very good as well. I don't do that either, but maybe I should start. Let's keep that also as a rule for starting exercise. Anyways, uh concentration, meditation, maybe you can talk to an expert, but take it slow. Don't expect to have 100% effect, like immediately. Don't beat yourself up if you're not able to do it. Take 2 minutes in a day, take 30 seconds. Start off slow. How they say, when you go to the gym, they don't expect you to do weights and pull-ups and everything on the first day, right? They start off slow. They say do it for 10 minutes, do it for 20 minutes, and they start off slowly. They let your body get accustomed to it. Same, you let your mind get accustomed to it. Meditation is not something which is easy. It takes you a lot of practice, and concentrating is very difficult. Give yourself some time and practice it. It need not be perfect, but take it slow. Take it a few minutes at a time. How to accept failure? By trying again and by not giving up. That is the one way you accept failure. Maybe you failed in an exam, maybe you failed in a relationship, maybe there are so many different types of failures in life. Does not make you a failure. No, each time you fail, learn the lessons from that failure. Like today's talk, at the end, I will ask, what did you think of my talk? In school, we used to do critical appreciation of books or something. We had to do that for every in 10th or 12th standard. We had to read a book and write critical appreciation as a project or something, where we critically note down the books. That's their job. Okay, so why does a person critic a movie or critic a book or critic anything? So that the author or the director or the critic or whoever has done the movie can do better in the next movie, so that they don't make the same mistakes of this movie. That is why a critic, that's the job of the critic, is that life's life is a critic. Life teaches you failures so that you understand and not do the same mistakes again. Make mistakes into lessons, into morals, so that you don't do it again. A mistake will not be, you know like, for example, you can't call the same mistake a mistake if you repeat it twice. That becomes your character. Okay, twice, thrice, four times, If you do keep doing the same thing, it becomes your character. You're like that. Okay. But if you do it once, you can't define it to be your character. And if you regret it doing that mistake so much, don't do it again. Make it a lesson so that you don't do it again. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't become or feel guilty about it. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. How does stress and tension affect our day-to-day productivity and ways to overcome them? Stress and tension. Oh my god, I get so stressed out at work. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, why am I even here? So I go drink a tea. Tea, tea calms me down. Anyways, it's again about prioritizing. Again about hoping that you calm down and prioritize your work and do it slowly. Take time. Be calm yourself down. That's very important. You calm yourself down. You don't get excited, you don't get hyper. It's very important that you calm yourself down and do your best so you don't get stressed out. Find the source. What is stressing you out? Again, this is again similar to what I said. Lifestyle modification. Lifestyle modification is very different when it comes to mental health. Okay, so physical health, like if you're diagnosed with diabetes, they will tell you to stop eating sugar. When you're diagnosed with bipolar, they didn't tell me what to do, what to not do. Because it's at the end of the day mind games. Your mind will at the time tell you to eat chocolate. Sometimes it will tell eat kara or eat something spicy. But how can you decide what do you want? So it's all about mind game. So it's about keeping yourself aware. Again, it's all about awareness. Maybe you can think about staying fit by being aware of what is happening around you. I'm not talking about current awareness about reading newspaper every day. Read the newspaper of your mind. Get up in the morning and think about what is happening with you. Where are you headed? What is happening? What do you want? Love yourself. Be proud of who you are. That is one lifestyle change I should bring into my life, where I look into the mirror and tell myself that I love myself. That is one lifestyle change I really have to bring into it. How to stay happy physically and mentally. See, again, physically and mentally, how to stay physically, exercise, this, that, and all. Mentally, love yourself. When you look into the mirror today, any day, anytime, any day, any place, even if you have messy hair or you're just woken up from the bed, smile and tell the person you look into the mirror that you're proud of who they are. Oh, by the way, the person in the mirror should be you. You have to mean that. Every time you smile, mean that smile. Because that is the most beautiful asset given to you by whoever created you. Maybe some of you believe in God, don't believe in God, I don't know. But a smile can change so many people's lives. Smile to a stranger. Why do you I'm not creating a huge thing here. Give a smile to a stranger, you might change their day. Give a smile to yourself at first. That is what is most important. And don't judge yourself. Don't be judgmental. We all tell don't judge others, don't do this, don't do. Why do you judge yourself? Why do you want to tell yourself that this is me, this is who I am, what I'm doing? Don't. Maybe you can critique or look at yourself in different perspectives, but don't label yourself as whatever you negative term or anything of that. And it's very important not to do that to yourself, because that's what pulls you down. And physically and mentally happy, they're parallel lines, they go side by side. If you're physically happy, you'll be mentally happy. If you're mentally happy, you'll be physically happy. So it's all about self-awareness, being aware of what you want, what you have. You need not have a big palace, a big bungalow. Just be happy for the little bit you have today. Seriously. And if you're depressed and if you just got out of bed after 2 days of not eating anything and everything, and you had your first meal, be grateful and happy and proud of yourself that you did that today. You don't have to beat yourself up that you're not achieving so many things when your friends are achieving so many things and all that. Don't compare yourself. Compare yourself to yourself. Don't compare it with anybody else. today I did this. Today I am proud of myself that I got out of bed and I ate my meal. I am an achiever. That was my Everest. Because 2 days before I didn't do that. I was not able to do that. But today I did it. I climbed my Everest. You have to be proud of yourself. Little achievements in life will reach you to success. You need not do big things. You need not, like, build the Taj Mahal or anything to be successful. You just have to have little small success. It'll reach whatever you can define success as. For me, today my success was I probably, didn't eat outside. I didn't eat junk food today. So I'm proud of myself for that. I give myself a pat on the back. What are you proud of today? Are you proud of something today? Think about it. You should be proud of something every night before you go to bed. Listen to my voice telling you asking you what are you proud of today? How to tackle family problems? Every family has problems. No family is perfect. The perfect frame you see of a family of 4 or 5 people smiling need not be the backside story of every family. Okay, because there are ups and downs, because life is ups and downs. It need not be perfect as it always seems, but it's all about faces. Okay, because when it comes to family, it comes to people, and they're your loved ones, they are your inner circle. And family is something who will not let you go. Even if you do the stupidest mistake, or even if you are to be put in jail, it's family who will come to take care of you at the end of the day, because they're obligated to do it. At the end of the day, they biologically trained to love you, even if they don't want to. So I'm not saying that as a negative thing. Anyways, so when it comes to family problems, sit down and talk. Communication is key. Okay, any family problem. Maybe two people are fighting. Let the fight go on. Let the heated argument go on. Because if you go in between and try to talk it out, it'll create another issue. Let it calm down. Let there be silence. Try to rekindle the relationship through communication. Sit down and try to sort it out. Put the cards on the table. Communication is very, very important when it comes to family. We need not just communicate when we are happy. Communicate when you're sad. Communicate when you're depressed. Communicate when you're in need. Because that is what true family is. When they're there for you through everything. It need not be just, like, you at your happy times. So I guess I'm done with all the questions. So what would you like me to talk about, Abhishek, now?
Yes, ma'am. Can you please elaborate on how to break the stigma related to mental health and how to help our peers? जनरली मैम क्या होता है कि जैसे मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं, साथ में हम रह रहे हैं हॉस्टल में,
Hmm.
तो हमें दिख रहा होता है कि यार वो सैड है, काफ़ी टाइम से उसके बिहेवियर में चेंज आ रहा है, बट वो बात करना नहीं चाहता है, और
Okay.
उसकी इस स्टेट की वजह से हमें भी लगता है यार हम उसके साथ रह रहे हैं, बट वी आर नॉट एबल टू हेल्प हिम.
Help.
सो
Hmm.
या, हाउ टू डू दैट, हाउ टू
Okay.
अप्रोच?
See, since all of you are students who are listening in, I know, first of all, this is a very difficult phase for all of you. Okay, this young phase. Okay, I'm talking like I'm very old. I'm also 26. Okay, I'm not very old. So, first of all, this phase for you, this transition phase to adulthood, is very, very challenging. Okay, you face a lot of hormonal problems. Physically, your body changes. You have different types of needs, and then you're emotional. You have you're completely different. Your mind wants something, your heart wants something else, and you're stressed out. It's difficult. But you know if your friend is in need, or if you look at your friend who's suffering, as I said, just be there for them. Okay, and if they don't want to share it, give them the assurance that you're there no matter what. Because most of the time in hostel and all, because you're away from family, you feel lonely. Okay, a lot of people feel lonely when they're in the hostel, they miss their family, they miss their mom's food or their dad's care or anything, or maybe even their pet or just their room. They miss their comfort of their home. Okay, just give them the assurance that you're there so that they don't feel pressurized in those four walls of the hostel. Give them a toffee telling that while walking on the road, well, when you went to the shop or your canteen, you thought about him or you thought about your friend. And I just remembered that small things like that. Don't give big gifts or to cheer them up. That doesn't work. You don't have to be materialistic. A 1 rupee toffee would matter. That would be more treasured more than any iPhone in the world. So it's important that you are assuring your friend that you are there for them no matter what mistake or no matter what problem they are facing. Because sometimes it's difficult to express, okay, certain problems at that particular age. You can't easily express to anybody, especially if they're facing depression and stuff. They'll be even more careful to not express it because we are scared to talk about our problems. I was so ashamed to tell that I used to self harm because I thought that people will call me attention, or like, you're doing it for attention, this, that, and all that. And we see so much in social media and everything, all these movies and all, they keep telling us that, oh, mental health is so lame, oh my god, such attention seekers, they bully a lot, they do it's portrayed in a very negative manner. So it's important to give assurance. That is very, very important to give to your friend. And educate the others who are trying to put your friend down or put her or him down. Educate them not to do it. Don't tell your friends about, like, let it go, move on, it's not important. you know that's not that that's the last thing you should tell them. That's what makes people like me and anyone else suffering from depression wanting to kill ourselves. Literally, I'm literally saying it because that's what I would feel. So the stigma is something which we are trying to eradicate, which you're trying to face. Like you saw Sushant Singh Rajput's case, okay? As you saw that case, a lot of us said we lost such a good actor, we lost such an amazing person. He was depressed. Why didn't anyone help? Why didn't we know? If we knew, we could have done better. We are not able to learn what we are not supposed to do. We are not supposed to put anybody in the position where they would want to take away their own life. There is no humanity. There's no humanity in anybody nowadays. They're arguing who killed them, and there's no how will that soul rest in peace? Let's not go there, but just sit with them, talk to them. Don't push anybody to tell what happened, something is wrong, tell no, tell no, tell no. That will not make them to not tell you. Just have a conversation, have a healthy, mature adult conversation. There should not be emotions involved. Don't tell that you're my friend, you won't tell me, you owe this, that, and all that. It should be very mature. So have mature conversations. Don't instigate what is troubling them. Try to cheer them up by doing things they like. Maybe go for a walk in the park or play with a dog, help an old lady. Something like that. I'm not telling you to spend a lot of money and travel or anything. Anything small can make you happy. Try to find out what that person likes to do. And if things are not working out, that's when you take professional help. That's when you look for a professional help and suggest to that person to take professional help, and that you will be there for them throughout it. And in case their family is not for professional help, or he or she doesn't want to tell about this counseling or anything about professional help to their family, try to keep it try to explain to them that getting professional help need not always mean you need to talk to the family about it. Because the people and therapists and doctors, They have studied the brain. They know what they're talking about. They know what you're going through. They may not empathize or feel what you're going through, but they know why your mind is speaking like that, or they know why you are undergoing what you're undergoing, why your mind is behaving like that, why your mind is responding to things like that. So educate yourself that way and try to educate your friend also. That's what I would suggest.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I would request all the participants that you can share your queries in the chat box, and we will address all these questions. Now, I would like to thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for this truly engaging and enlightening evening. I'm sure that each one of us here has learned something extremely valuable from your experience. Now, I would request our counselors to share their valuable thoughts. Shikha, ma'am, can you please?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you please share your
Can
thoughts?
you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, hi, Sangeeta. It's
Hi.
I am speechless hearing your experiences and all. And it's really heart-wrenching, and on the other side it's very motivating. Just now Abhishek has asked that show some light about the to break the stigma. I think your talk is like that, to break the stigma.
Oh my God,
and
thank
uh,
you.
and I think you have showed so much of courage to accept our invitation and to accept our invitation and talk about yourself. I know it's really very, very difficult to talk something which is very stigmatic kind of thing, and to talk about all these kind of things and to share it. I think really it's hats off to you
Thank you,
to
ma'am.
share your experiences. And I'm sure that those whosoever listening your experiences, they will pass on your experiences with other students and the everyone, so that the stigma we can break the stigma to some extent. So
Definitely,
I
ma'am.
really,
Definitely.
yeah, I really, it's very wonderful, and I really hats off to you that you shared your experience in such a beautiful manner and very communicative. It's I did not feel anywhere that you are not interested or something like that. Very cheerful, very communicative, very. I mean, it's really hats off to you. Thank you very
Oh,
much,
thank you so
Sangeeta.
much, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having me and giving me an opportunity to talk and share my views. And I just it would make a lot of difference to me that even if one person in today's talk took home a lesson and would apply it in their life, that's just my
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, really, 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 it's very nice. And thank you, and have a good day, and good night also.
Thank you,
And I
ma'am.
think
Thank you.
Abhishek, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would request Parul, ma'am. She is also a counselor to share
Okay.
a few words.
Hello, Sangeeta Param.
Hi.
Thank you so much for sharing your views with us. And right now, I am not in a place then I can start my video. Actually, I am having some network issue. That's why I can't start my video. Uh, but thank you so much, and I'm so glad to have you with us. Uh, it's a privilege to hear your experiences and all these things. And we are mental health professionals. As a mental health professional, I am glad that somebody is coming to this platform and they are sharing what they are having, uh, what are their experiences, and what kind of motivation, what kind of lifestyle they are having. And thank you so much. for being
Thank
with
you,
us.
ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would definitely, once this COVID thing comes to a better state, I would love to come to your college and give a talk to students, as I think many of them would be studying or in different places right now. So I would definitely like to come and give a talk to
We
them.
will sure like to have you with us
Thank you.
personally.
Thank you.
In person, we want to meet you. Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Parul ma'am. Now I would request Mohit sir to share his views.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Uh, Really, thank you very much for like speaking on such a sensitive topic and breaking this stigma, as you said. Like you said, if you made a change in anyone's life, I personally was very moved by your.
I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, like your different perspective to different things that really help you for giving us insight
I
into
think you
your
can
life,
stop your
how to
video.
deal with
Mohit, you can stop your video and
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
speak.
Yes, I'm sorry for this network delay. I'm very sorry for that. But again, thank you, Sangeeta, ma'am, really very much.
No problem. Thank you.
So now I would request Mohit, Joint Secretary NSS, to give a vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. So, like we all said that your words really moved us, and since we're working on this sensitive topic as mental health, this be fit statement uh, is very important over here, as this tells us not only not only in our daily life but in our few experiences with our friends and everyone. This implies over there with our parents, with our life, with our friends, everyone. So we really thank you for taking out your time and telling us some deeper aspects, a deeper insight, a deeper perspective into this sensitive topic. And the whole team of Wellness Center and NSS IIT Roorkee thanks you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice talking to all of you. I hope I didn't bore you guys.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohit.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, all the counselors and Mohit. Now, before concluding, I just want to say that mental health is not a destination, but a process. It's about how you drive, not where you are going. At the end, I would like to thank Sangeeta ma'am, our counselors, and all the participants. Have a great evening and always remember to take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.